Wait, imagine if we actually...
Bro, I'm shooting at this guy? Okay.
You got him?
Yeah.
Okay, no, they're all down there. They're all down there. They're all down there. Got one of them. Yeah, they're all spawning at C here. They're all spawning C. Okay, they've got rocket launchers up the wazoo. I think every single person's running with them. Oh, no, 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 no. Not trying to get killed by that. No, thank you. Shoot, I don't have any more nades.
She's just hip firing with the MP7.
I hear them all behind me.
Sounds like
I hear
familiar.
so many footsteps. Oh, he's so weak. No. Ah, shoot, he came up and knifed me. That's it, I'm dead. What's up, Christian? Tomorrow's night stream, can you please play Rick and Morty Zombies, please? I've already played that map a couple times, though, bro. I don't know if I'd want to play it again, to be honest with you.
Rick and Morty people are the only intellectuals in this world. What?
Got him. Oh, shoot, he's right there. Nah, how can I not get him through that? What's up, the real OG? What's up, Dex Rose? Why don't you love me? Yo, Dexto, of course I love you, man. I want to join the lobby. Castle, if you have Modern Warfare 3 on the PC, then we could maybe play together. Ooh, whoa, 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 Hennis, locking onto people out here. Let's actually get out of here. Imagine that jump shot works. Never mind. No. Damn. Whoa. That's a teammate. Dude, wait a minute. What are these guys doing? What's up, Peyton? What's up, Castle?
I want to get C.
Yeah, I hate spawn trapping around C. It's terrible. A is so much better. Want to peek that, brother? Can't tell if he's still down there or not. Wait, is he still right there? I can't tell, man. You already know we're beasting? Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to make a move on C here for you. Yeah, you're on it. You're on it. I got the guy. I got him. Fine.
All
right, I'm back on him.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, watch if anybody comes in that side, the broken thing.
No one's here.
I'm watching the stairs. Okay, somebody's gonna be stairs 100%. Just watch out. Yeah, they're all in B pre-aiming. Yeah, stunned somebody down there.
I'm proning.
What's up, Zabus? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. All right, we're losing A.
Oh.
Can't tell what's going on.
The MP9 is... Oh,
so they're in B right now, right? So they
yeah.
should only be spawning in B. Okay, so we've contained them to just this structure. It's really nice.
They're going under now. Oh, I just got knifed. See now.
Whoa, holy Jesus.
Nading.
Yeah, I can't get there, unfortunately. I can't get there right now. I'm gonna have to backtrack.
Got him off.
You got them all off it?
It was just one person.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, now there's another one on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you. I'm coming. Do you see him?
No. Aided.
I can't tell if they're peeking up on that window or not. How much is this game on Steam? I have no idea, Yankee. I think it's probably gonna be, it's less than $10, I would imagine. Use code Hennis for 10% off on G2A.
Black Ops 2 is still $60 on Steam.
No, on G2A.
I know, but like still.
Use G2A and use code Hennis for 3% off. Shoot, man. What's up, my life of hell? Hennis, can you Hennis call me out? Yo, Chris, I'm calling you out, man. Wait, whoa. Okay, I was about to say. I was like, what the hell?
Behind again.
I'm stunning over there for you.
Oh.
Shoot, dude, I'm dead. I'm dead. Can't tell where they are in this corner, dude. What? Ah! What's up, T-Laser Pride? How you doing today, my man? Got him.
This dude full flash killed me.
Oh, you're so... Whoa, wait, I gotta see this, dude.
Ooh, I got an IMS. Yay.
On what planet does that work, bro? A hipfire G... What just happened? Oh, I thought my game crashed. I got really scared. Scared/pissed. This guy just, like, hipfire G36 C'd me. From, like, long range. I'm gonna get challenged right here. I'm calling it.
This
No,
guy
never
might
mind,
be
he's camping.
walling.
Who?
The obese guy.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Coming for you. Oh, no, he's right there. Let me kill him, I can't see anything. He knows I'm here. They know I'm here. Frick, I was gonna say. What's up, Jose? There's no way I get hit that many times. That was exactly where I am. Get him, Predator. Get him. Did you get him? Alright, I'm gonna actually push into B here. Never mind, I think they're head glitching down. Oh, yep, never mind. Oh, man. What's up, Ascend? What's up, Jesus? Welcome to the stream. ProHype #1? Yo, thank you, Christian. Appreciate the kind words, brother.
Actually go there.
I think I'm #1 too, dude. #1 on the PC and #1 in your hearts. It'd be that guy. Stunned him in there. Oh, you're so weak, dude. God damn. What's up, Joe? You're so good, Roblox. I'm trying my hardest out here, man. Like, if you haven't noticed, I am tryhard pantying a little bit. I'm gonna pre-aim this guy. He's right there. He's right there. My hero, Hitler. Thing is, I probably shouldn't say on stream. Yep. Kind of saw that one coming. Hennis, you're cool. Thank you, Kale. What? We just got Moabbed? Do you have to pay to become a sponsor? Yeah, you do have to be pay to become a sponsor, man. I want to kill one person.
Okay, get inside. You're gonna die if you don't. Haha. We haven't got. Oh, it's Blackhawk.
I'm sorry. Can we get a proRIP in the chat for getting Moabbed live on stream? Thank you. I would appreciate it. We
Yeah, those guys are
must be a hacker, right? What's up, Epic? Welcome to the stream. I love how we're out here trying to get him up. This Blackhawk guy, 50 and 11. Jesus Christ. I can't tell if he's just really good or what.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I haven't been paying attention enough to kill cams, to be honest with
I
you.
stunned him. You know. Yep.
Who's this obese guy? Is this guy hacking?
That's what I was talking about.
Ooh. Yeah, see, and I don't know if that's just the kill cam snap. I can't tell, dude.
Yeah.
This game's too weird. I can't tell if that's kill cam snap or... He's sitting in a corner. He's actually... do you have to pay to become a sponsor? You do, man. Yes. You do indeed, Andrew. So it is a $4.99 per month payment, but you can cancel it at any time. That's the beauty of it. You can cancel it at any time. You get access to all the emojis, the sponsor badge. I add you back on PlayStation. I follow you on Twitter. Ton of really cool, awesome perks for becoming a sponsor. If you want a list of the full features, it's all down in the description below. Right at the top of the description, actually. You know, if we play this right, we could still technically drop something. Okay, we're losing C. Is he weak at all?
I don't even know. Because he had blast shield on.
Oh, dude, this guy. What's up, Tay? Hold on, I gotta see this. Blackhawk. Ooh, Blackhawk. I don't know, man. That looked a little weird. He's either, my hypothesis would be he's either, like... I don't know. He might be a good player. Who's, like, faking hacks. I don't know. Like, he might just be trying to hide it really well. What do you think, chat? If we had, like, what's that thing called in CSGO where you can, like...
Overwatch.
Overwatch, yeah.
Original name, right?
Yeah, right.
Even though Overwatch.
I was gonna say, I think Overwatch came out first.
Like
wow, dude. Yeah.
On CS.
What's up, Wake?
No.
How you doing?
Overwatch on CS has been out for like 3+ years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I really want to kill this Blackhawk guy. Like, really badly. Shoot. What's up, Cooper? I'm going to donate $1,000. All right, man. Say my name and read my comment every time I'll donate $1,000. All right, Cooper. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to your first $1,000 donation of the night. I'm pretty sure I've already read one of your donations out loud, though. Dude, this obese guy is terrible. He's actually terrible. Every time I get killed by him, he's sitting in a corner somewhere. Should have to check all my corners, man. Hey, what's up, Mixtape? Welcome to the stream, brothers. 600 likes in the stream. You guys are fantastic. If you guys are new, like I said, make sure you subscribe. Drop a like, all that good stuff.
Of course, he's up there now.
He's up there. What's up, Dark Call? Hiya! Made it. We're gonna leave this lobby, by the way, after this.
Dead already? Yeah.
How did he not die? What's up, Damien? Yo, Carnage Enigma. You got him? Who got him, Moab? This Blackhawk guy who we think is hacking on the other team. We can't really tell, though. He's either... If he's hacking, he's not blatant. That's for sure. He might just be a really good player. It's kind of hard to tell at this point. I just killed somebody with a stun grenade. It's my mission.
Final kill count?